What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and last night I was watching a video by WrestleMania, and shout out to WrestleMania for reporting on this, and it completely shocked me. David Benoit did a interview with Chris Benoit, speaking on his childhood, his father, what occurred during the last moments of Chris's life, and everything in between. David said that the deaths of Daniel, Nancy, and his father affected him so much that he couldn't go to school. He couldn't finish school. He completed high school, he just didn't complete it that year. But that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is David Benoit has a wrestling name he wants to go under when he starts wrestling. Right now, he's still in the training stages. He wants to wrestle as Chris Benoit Jr. When I heard that, it made me do what I'm doing now, except I wasn't physically scratching my head. I slept on it. I wanted to do a video last night, but I decided, okay, I'm gonna think on this, and I'll get my thoughts out in the morning. But the more I think about it,
and if we're honest, everybody knows a Debbie Downer. You remember that Saturday Night Live sketch where
the more I think it's a bad idea for David to wrestle under the name Chris Benoit Jr. And there are several different reasons why I think this.
Complaining is normal to a certain extent.
One,
now it seems like in our culture, I've noticed this with my kids.
When people hear the name Chris Benoit, they completely forget that he was one of the best technical wrestlers of.
Turn on one of the late night talk shows. It's somebody complaining. It's about somebody else.
Complaining is a big part of our world now.
Of his time.
But it also can be really detrimental to yourself and to others.
That's what they're finding in research, and that's what's amazing. They say that complaining can actually rewire your brain.
Not saying that David Benoit should be
physically, literally rewire your brain.
Yeah, and that's why
should be considered guilty just for.
These are things we're seeing happening.
Just for his.
You really gotta kind of like hit the stop button. So to speak.
Just for his ties to the Benoit family.
Can affect you, and this being the 30-day challenge, we thought maybe this is an addendum we can add to the list at klove.com because learning to stop complaining.
There
is one of those things that can help.
There are fans that just refuse to let it go.
And make people happier around you, and there are some different types of negativity.
Two.
Maybe you know somebody like this. Maybe honestly, if you're being honest,
for instance, I don't know how to put this.
They see are venters, and if I'm being honest,
so
that's the kind of
I'm gonna try my best.
It's like
get it all out.
Exactly, and oftentimes the problem—it's one thing to get it out; it's another.
David Benoit is going to be a second-generation wrestler.
That's typically what happens. If you
Chris
take it too
Benoit
far,
being
someone can offer
first
some really good
generation.
advice, but you don't even
Yeah, you're just
acknowledge
venting.
it. Exactly.
You're not even hearing it.
So,
Another thing that they're concerned
with
people
David,
seekers, is everyone that they come across are one of those people who
wrestling
always have it worse than
There's always drama surrounding them.
Yes. I mean, you watch
under the
shows
name
like
Chris
Wrestling,
Benoit Jr.,
There's always that girl that everybody's gathered.
David
around
will
and
always
pretending
be in
to
his
choose
father's
and,
shadow.
one thing, and she tends to kind of thrive on that, and you see this pattern.
And
yeah, it's that oh, I have a headache today. Oh well,
And-
I'm to her.
Yeah.
So
whether we like it or not,
say, of course, that affects people.
that's a lot of what happens to second and third generation stars. Prime example, David Sammartino. David Sammartino, who is he? The son of David Sammartino. But David Sammartino came in, I think, yeah, he debuted in the WWF.
When that complaint flies out, like, maybe just stop and replace.
He got the rub from his father.
Yeah.
It's Scott and Kelly.
But then David Sammartino got into what I like to call the generational rut. David Sammartino looked so much like his father Bruno, and Bruno was basically semi-retired at the point. But Bruno would still get physical, along with his son David in tag team matches. David Benoit looks so much like Chris Benoit that you know he's Chris's son. And finally, my third reason, David Benoit needs to forge a path all on his own, not relying on his father's name. And I know that may sound harsh, I know that may sound cold, but we've seen it time after time not work. We've seen Ted DiBiase and Ted DiBiase Jr. We've seen well, that's basically the only example I can come up with. But that's all I got. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone. And David, I really hope you succeed. And Wrestling for Fans, I would love to hear your response to this. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.